Just a tease.
Ask Alex about sending money to Tico, Texas for her broken nail, and Tico offering to meet up with Alex for a night out. That would be fucking hilarious if that happened. Oh, you dapper gentleman. How are you, sir? Alex.
Good morning.
I'm sorry.
Good morning. Sorry for being a few minutes late. I actually woke up at 6, and then I was like, oh, well, we don't do it till 10. I fell back asleep, so sorry. I'm rolling out of bed. I apologize for being late, but thank you for having me, guys.
So I unfairly shit on you, and you apologize to me. No need.
Well, no, I don't even think you unfairly. And Aaron, like, honestly, like I said, I was trolling April a little bit because I saw her and a shark in the water. I saw her all alone, so of course I went to attack her. No, but I mean, I like you guys. I mean, I watched you. I'm a huge Kevin Brennan fan. I know you guys are big Kevin fans.
Yeah.
And I watched your interview on Kevin, and that made me like you. And then I didn't realize, I learned a little bit more about you guys. I knew that, April and you guys have been broadcasting, fairly recently. And I know that you are a terrestrial radio broadcaster.
Yeah.
And like I said, like, even though, your criticism of me, which, like, dude, listen, I get criticized all day long.
That's kind of what I thought.
Yeah. But the reason why I didn't like you is because you're teaming up with the guy who hates me the most, is Jesse P.S. You know who that is. All he does.
No, let me say
but
this.
That's why.
No teaming up.
And I don't even care. And I don't even care because, he's going to be watching this, clipping this, because that guy's obsessed everywhere I go. I'm just saying, that guy, you're cheerleading him. And I was like, oh, gosh, he's going to be on the Jesse P.S. train.
No.
I get it. But that's why where I was like, oh, man. Fuck Steel Toe. But I don't really feel that way. I don't really feel like fuck Steel Toe.
Because I do want to clarify the Jesse P.S. thing. I think this is how I feel. If I've gone out of line on the show, my feelings towards the Jesse thing was I watched his thing on you and I thought it was brutal. But at the same time, I also know what Jesse P.S. is. To me, he's kind of like a lower rent Red Bar kind of guy. I don't want to be involved in any of that shit. That's for sure.
No, and it's not that big a deal. I mean, I actually don't mind Jesse P.S. making content about me, but then I really got worried too because I noticed after the Bubba thing, after the Bubba hot tape, we had the hot tape where I was like, oh, fuck Steel Toe. Then I was like, I walked it back. I was like, no, I don't really think that. Okay. But Bubba got mad. So what was the beef with Bubba? Because Bubba never really explained it. Bubba said, oh, I wanted to help them out or something when you got kicked off terrestrial radio. I don't know. I didn't know the story because Bubba didn't even make it very clear.
I think Bubba fell for some guys who don't like us trolling him in our name. Because what happened with us and Bubba was we got in our trouble. We were like the top story in radio for like 3 days. And Bubba got a hold of it because he's an old radio guy. And we were just starting off our show on Twitch and then eventually came to YouTube, long story. But he talked about us, very complimentary. I got in touch with his producer at the time who was, really good guy.
Seth?
The hockey guy, Seth. And they put us on his show and we got a nice audience bump from that. It was really cool. And then us and Bubba just kind of went our own way. But I guess some old Bubba fans upset some current Bubba fans, and then those Bubba fans were Steel Toe fans.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Yeah. You know how it goes. So the people in the It's nothing that Aaron or April did. I'm sure you guys did nothing to Bubba. I don't know. I don't dislike you guys. I mean, you guys said that. That's the only thing that I just call you out there. You guys, Alex Sainz jumped a shark. He's never no more videos. But this is what I get mad about, Aaron, is Cassidy Campbell and I'm the one who rejuvenated Cassidy Campbell's channel. His channel was dead. His channel was getting no subscribers. And then he started creating content with me again. And it's not his fault that his channel died. It's because YouTube at one point used to be cool where it would actually suggest independent content creators. Now you basically have to pay to be suggested to anybody, right? I'm saying the 2022 version of YouTube is a lot different than 2018. And I wasn't on it like Cassidy was in 2018. And I'm just saying, I'm not trying to, Cassidy built something up on his own. I'm not even trying to take credit, but he even told me that his channel was dying because pranks and stuff were going down. So it's just kind of funny that we helped each other out. And that only makes me mad is because, listen, Cassidy is a great guy, very good friend of mine. But I helped Cassidy. He didn't just help me out. It's mutually, Alex, we helped each other out.
Alex,
Aaron.
I'm not trying to get you to shit on Cassidy Campbell. That's not what I'm trying to do.
No.
Yeah, but you did pin us against each other.
I did.
Exact quote from you, Aaron. You're like, the work that Cassidy Campbell is doing is so good. Unlike that unfunny person, Alex. That was your exact quote.
I did not say unfunny.
And I get, I'm pretty sure it was unfunny. And it doesn't matter. Comedy is subjective. I'm not even here to argue whether I'm funny or not because, listen, my own father thinks I'm the least funny person alive. He thinks I'm an idiot and that everything I do is dumb. So
me too.
I get told I'm unfunny. Yeah. So I get told I'm unfunny all the time. And then people say, oh, you're so funny. So listen, I take it with a grain of salt. I'm not Jay Leno or freaking whatever, the best comedian in the world or whatever.
Let me say that. Let me clarify my position on Alex Stein because it sounds like I've said multiple different things at multiple times, which shock jock over here. But my position on you on this show, we have played and complimented so much more of your shit than anything we've shit on. But I think
but even you said it. I remember you said it. You said you get 100 compliments, you only notice the one.
No,
negative.
I hear you.
That's for everybody. I said that too. But that's for everybody. That's not just for. I mean, unless somebody's just like, oh, I'm the Sultan of Brunei. I don't care what anybody says. Everybody does care when people are like, and this is the only thing that separates you and April is that you guys can actually know how to make a compute. Edit it, make a tagline, clip it. It's a little different than just somebody being like, fuck you on their keyboard. You can actually go a little more than the keyboard warrior, which I respect because that's one thing I had to say about Steel Toe. You broadcast twice a day. You're basically live, I think, Monday through Friday. I don't know if you're live on the weekends. I know you go to football games and
clips.
Stuff. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So you're not live, but still, I mean, with 2 shows Monday through Friday, that's a lot of broadcasting.
Well, thank you. I mean, so 2 shows Monday through Wednesday, but thank you. I take that compliment.
Whatever. It's still, one show a week one show a day is a lot.
No, I hear you on when you were on Simpcast and you said, and I really respect both you and April on Simpcast on Sunday because you came in hot. April, dug her heels in the sand. She kind of stood there, and I think there was a part of you that respected that because you really softened by the end of it.
I liked our interaction
yeah.
quite a bit, actually.
Yeah, I was just trolling April. Yeah. I wanted to just get a rise out of her. She stayed cool as a cucumber. But this is the thing. This thing's I don't have any beef with April. I've never really heard April saying it. If anybody of you two imbeciles, not trying to call you that, I'm just saying if I had to have heat, and I'm sure April said something negative. She's agreed with you, and you're like saying jump the shark. But trust me, Aaron, you say the most cavalier things about this. So April, I'm much more friendly of April's opinion of me than Aaron's.
Yeah.
Well, and I think
I respect it.
I think you know this, and as I kind of rewatched some of the stuff I said and then watched some of the stuff you said, I went, I think I'm a little too much like Alex to let this continue because you said the thing about how, you hear the one guy, you don't hear the 100. Yep. And then also the thing where we're all autistic and then we get into talking shit and you forget that the person's a human being.
What? And that's very true. And like I said, people make fun of me all the time. It's like the Jesse P.S. guy we keep bringing up. I don't mind Jesse P.S. actually making content about me. It's like he's always bringing up my dead mom. He's always saying the most apparent, like the low. I'm just saying it's just low. So I love the trolling. He's like, oh, you're not a big enough troll because I don't like make fun of people's dead parents. I guess I'm not a big enough troll. Right. My point is, I'm just saying I can make fun of the heat. I can and like I said, I actually think I need constructive criticism. A lot of the ideas that I come with, I crowdsource ideas, and I think Aaron, you got a lot of good ideas too. I'm not just saying that's kiss your ass. I think you have a lot of radio bits and funny. So that's why I don't like it. I'm like, oh, this guy seems like he knows what he's talking about. We like a lot of the same comedians. We like a lot of the same bull crap. I mean, seriously, the same internet culture stuff.
Well, the thing,
he just sucks.
Aside from Simpcast, I also wanted to reach out to you because a lot of the people we're both friends with all tell me the same thing. And this is why we ended up becoming really good friends with Gino after we had a back and forth, was that a lot of people we were both friends with said, you guys would really get along. You guys would really like each other. And
Gino's super nice, but the reason why Gino's funny to make fun of because Red Bar, Gino
Red
is
Bar fed us everything.
I mean, that's why. That's why you like Gino. I mean, I'm actually kind of lucky that Red Bar hasn't started to make fun of me, even though I would like it. See, I'm so sick in my head too. I'm like, you guys are like, is Alex Stein big enough? I'm not big enough. Red Bar, I don't believe has made one clip about me, and I know Red Bar doesn't.
So you're saying you need Red Bar right now. That's what you need.
I say I haven't even got the Red Bar treatment yet, but Gino got it bad. But this is what I would always tell Gino. I go, Gino, that helps you. It's a funny song. Yeah. People don't care. Yeah. You're not like Daddy Warbucks. It's not like anybody thinks he has this impression that you're super rich or something. Yeah. So, I mean, you're a comedian. I thought that was funny, and that made me like Gino even more. So I'm sure that you probably like Gino because of that, or had beef with him because of that before you knew him.
No, we took Pat's side in the punching thing.
Yeah.
I think,
after the punch.
But then you think about it and you're like, it was just a guy having a girl on. You don't fucking break a guy's jaw over that. We actually got the very minuscule red bar treatment a few months ago. He like very casually kind of shit on us, and we were kind of like you were like, oh, here we go, a red bar, and then it kind of dropped off. So I was kind of a little bummed out.
And previously,
what did he say? What did he say? Because I thought I was looking for clips. Because like I said, you guys hadn't talked about me since the Bubba thing. I was looking for clips on my channel.
We have.
I was like, well, I know maybe this week, like since this week, but I'm saying you haven't in the past month, before the Dave Portnoy thing, which is fine, which is like I said, I don't want you guys not talking about it. I'm not so sensitive, I don't want people to not talk about me, but it's like, oh man, they're going to talk shit about me, and then they run in the same circles as me. Oh, and that's the other thing, and then I had to clarify the thing with Christy. Yes, 100%, I think the content house filming 24/7 is cringe. Now, every single person in the house is great. I love it, Gino, but the idea of just having a camera on 24/7 is not smart, especially with me. I say, God knows what I say about Sandy Hook or the whatever. Or I'm just saying, I mean, who knows what I'm going to say? I don't know what I'm going to say. So for me, it's not good for me to be on the 24-hour. Yeah. For other content creators, it's probably great for them, and that's fun and it's easy. For me, I was like, oh shit, I'm on Big Brother, and if you guys know my reality TV experience, I get kicked out of every reality show I'm on. So I was like, oh shit, where's the producer that's kicking me out?
I do, and the last thing about you and I before we get on to, because I'm fascinated by the Portnoy thing, and there's some other stuff I want to talk to you about. But as far as you and I goes, it's this. Here's what I will absolutely cop to. I only clipped out the critical stuff, because it will get views on YouTube. Being really nice to Alex Stein doesn't get you a lot of heat, doesn't get you a lot of attention, and unfortunately, we're in the attention business. But I want to name a few things that we've played on this show that were incredibly complimentary, that I think took not just.
I don't even like compliments. No, I don't know. We can do.
You're too autistic. Goddammit! Knock it off.
I hate compliments too.
Stop it.
I don't like the mean things. I don't like the comments either. Sorry, go ahead.
Just let it happen, all right? Let this happen. I know when a man first starts rubbing your shoulders, you're very tense. It's very awkward, but eventually you loosen up. You wear that robe. You let him kind of go to work, and you just hope that he doesn't do anything that challenges your preconceived notions of your sexuality. The one thing we thought was really, really fucking ballsy, I thought it was beyond funny, was the Drag Time Story Hour, where there were people with fucking rifles, and I don't know how much people know about these people. They're not the most stable individuals in the world. You went right up to basically the muzzle of what I assume is a real firearm, and
they were real.
Screaming at these people. And I was looking over at April when we were covering it on the show, and I go, there is a very real chance that Alex came much closer to being shot in the face than maybe even he realized at that moment.
I think a quote from both of us multiple times, like, the balls on this guy.
The big fucking balls on Alex.
Seriously.
Yeah, they are big, but that's also just because I'm dumb. But at the same time, I'm so mad in that video. On that video, I'm like, oh, your little squirt guns. I'm like trying to troll them, but those are real guns. I shouldn't have even said that, because then people were confused. I got all these like liberal type people. Not that I'm against liberal people, but they're like, oh, so those were fake guns. Those aren't even real. Those are airsoft guns. I'm like, no, those are actual real guns. So like, why'd you say they were fake guns? I'm like, well, I was just trolling. But no, those are very real guns. And you're right, because listen, I'm not a hero. I'm just an idiot with a selfie stick, just trying to, like, I guess, get this footage. Because in most states, in Minnesota, can you open carry in Minnesota?
Yes, you can. No, we don't have concealed carry. We just have carry.
You don't have concealed. Yeah, I'm just saying you can carry, but most states aren't like Texas and Minnesota. I mean, we have a lot of hunting and fishing. You say just like you guys, where that's more normal. But in Canada, you can't even have a hunting rifle now. So they're trying to block hunting rifles. But I guess my whole point is, when you show that video, it's pretty shocking. Like, why are these people have AR-15s out in front of a drag queen story time at a bookstore? So I guess it's just more that. I wouldn't be that scared of those guys. John Doyle, who's another content creator, I don't know if you're familiar with him, but he's like a Christian fascist or Christian nationalist or whatever. He's like, they really hate him. He's on the SBLC. But he always tells me, he's like, Alex, that's the worst way. That's the last way I'd like to die, is at the hands of one of these Antifas with a gun. Yeah. But for me, if I get shot, I want to get shot, April. That'd be my most viral video.
We just
if
said
I can just
that.
Get shot and not die.
I think we said that yesterday. Yesterday when we were covering the whole Portnoy thing, and he's like saying, no, that guy should have been shot. I'm like,
we'll get to that. That was wild.
Because
I'll lose a finger. I mean, I'd be willing to lose a finger for
in the hospital for a few days.
Views.
Yeah, but are the drag queen story people aiming for your finger?
Oh.
No, but see, they're such bad shots too. They suck. They're like, oh, the gun. They're all pussies. I mean, I don't know what we can say, but yeah, they're all. But see, sometimes it takes a crazy, scared person to shoot the gun too, and that's that's what I don't like about in the conservative world. I like Kyle Rittenhouse. I think he had to protect himself, but I don't really like that he went and shot 2 people, even if they are a pedophile and a bad person.
Yeah,
I just don't like people getting shot necessarily. It's just that's where I kind of don't like it. I don't know if that makes you necessarily a hero.
No, I think that kid should have probably stayed home.
Yeah, I don't think
but he didn't deserve what happened to him, and he did what he had to do. Yeah.
I don't think it was his job to shoot those people, though. That's kind of where I said.
It's a tough situation, but like I said, he probably shouldn't have been there. Trolling a car lot that had plenty of insurance. That's the one thing that I don't like that nobody said. Is all of these car lots that got burned down in Ferguson or Georgetown, they all have you cannot operate as a legal car dealership without what is called lot insurance. And that's insurance for your lot. That's just a part of it. So I mean, all those people, their cars, they got burned out, but it's like they sold them to them. I mean, it would be no different to their bank. I mean, the insurance company is going to pay them for the title. So I don't know. People don't realize those car lots were not that bad.
No, it's a little youthful exuberance, I think. All right, good. Well, you and I have an understanding. I like you too much, and a lot of the people we run with like both of us too. Well, probably like you more than me, but like both of us. And I wanted to put all that silly nonsense to bed, and I think you're a good guy, and I think you do really good work. There's a couple of times I've gotten a little boisterous about some things I thought were too much. Who fucking cares? Big deal. I think you're a good dude. Now let's get to a guy who really is a douche, and that's Dave Portnoy. You went into his, and you called your shot. You were saying on shows the night before, you were saying, look, I'm going to Dave Portnoy's headquarters. I'm going to look for him. I'm going to bring my wife's boyfriend, a homeless man. Yeah. Now you ended up, and I don't know if Chrissy blew this for you or you just admitted it, but you said, oh yeah, that guy's a comic and whatnot. Were you going to get an actual homeless person to go up there and somebody at the last minute grabbed you and said, Alex, you fucking lunatic?
Don't do that.
I like what you're thinking, Aaron, but no. The whole time I was this Esteban Romero, and you guys have seen his clips. He's a viral. I don't really look at TikTok much, but he's had TikTok sort of like millions of hits. Like one where it looked like he pooped in a bucket at the beginning of the pandemic that everybody saw. It was like a quick thing. I know, it's so stupid. It was like a Subway, like a MTA employee is like cleaning the Subway, and then he grabs it, he poops in it. That was like at the beginning of the pandemic. I remember that was his first video. So I was like, was this real or is this fake? It was one of those videos. Yeah. And I kind of had that humor. I'm like, is this real or is this fake when I do a city council meeting? Yeah. And that content is getting a little tired. You guys, I have to admit that. But we have
I don't need that.
You don't need to do
not
that.
Even that, Aaron. but then there's this girl, Lindsey Graham, who's the Patriot Barbie, who just went viral. She wore a cat's outfit, and she just went really viral.
Oh, I saw that. Yeah, fuck her, right?
I actually like Lindsey. What I'm saying is, I hope more people go do that. Like, I don't own the city council, act like an idiot. I wasn't the first person to do that. There's people that did that before me. So I just, that bit is like, is a everybody bit. I think that's like kind of whatever. It's kind of hacky to keep doing it, but I probably have to.
Well, my thing, it wasn't. I don't necessarily think hacky. I think my main point was once they started knowing who you were, it's kind of like the Tom Green or the Borat thing. Like once they know who you are, it's like, oh shit. Well, this isn't. I'm not getting the same thing out of them.
Your cover's blown.
And see, that's what sucks in Dallas and Plano, the two ones where I've, went the most viral. Those are the ones they're trying to limit public comment, where they just do it once a month. They don't want to do it on camera. And so they're writing all this stuff about it. So now with those two cities, it's not like fun little, Alex is going to go pretend to be a gay monkeypox victim. Now I have to go there and no, but now I have to go and yell at him. I mean, I'm suing the Dallas County Commissioner's Court. So it's like when I do this bid, I'm going to have to do it in like other cities or small towns. So you're right. Yeah. In those cities where they know me, because now when I go, they don't want me to speak. They put like let's say I'm signed up to speak number 7. By the time the list comes out, all of a sudden I'm 15th, and then they make it where they're just making it more difficult in these cities where I'm going most viral. So that's why it's like not even as fun to do it there, because they're trying to limit the free speech. But neither here nor there. We were talking about the Portnoy's thing. So I called the shot. I said, oh, who am I going to bring in there? Well, the whole idea was to bring an actor, because listen, I didn't even. Who's a homeless guy going to actually act like that? I mean, the guy's name is Esteban Romero. He did better than me. He's like, "Where's Dave?" Yeah. And he's acting all deranged. I mean, they were really scared. And if you notice, Barstool Sports is so racist. So I just pull on the door. Like, they try to say it was an inside job for Mincy. It wasn't. That they see me opening the door, they just think I'm somebody because I'm wearing like an Islanders hat and a suit. So you can hear the thing. They open it. they click the button, it opens the door. So I'm holding it open for Dontarius. I'm like, Dontarius, we get in. As soon as I'm already in and Dontarius coming in, the security guard goes straight for Dontarius, or the Nation homeless guy.
Yeah.
I know, but not the white guy. Why not me? I just thought that's immediately racist.
Yeah, well, how about...
Come out. I'm the first intruder. You don't go to the second intruder.
Yeah.
But the shirtless
apparently
black
Barstool's into profiling. Yeah, they saw more of a threat from the large black man and not the white collar dressed white guy.
Yes. And then this is the worst thing about it, though, is so we're fighting or whatever. They kick us out. They kick our ass. We're not fighting back. Like Tino's getting bear hugged, tackled. I'm getting like clonked on the back of my head. Not super hard, but I'm getting, love tapped. Yeah. Then we get outside, the door is locked. We can't get back in. Right. But then they proceed to come back out. The two girls, Tico, Texas, and the other girl, and they kicked my ass. The girl scratched me. It gave me a staph infection or 1 and 2. I mean, they're kicking me. They're like crow hopping me like in the, boom, going like that right in my crotch. Yeah, no, it was ratchet, as they say.
We did, I think Tuesday or Wednesday night, we actually watched one of Tico, Texas's rap videos.
Not good.
Oof.
Not good.
Now, that's the one that slapped you in the face, right, Tico?
Yes.
Broken nail.
And then... well, and I want to hear about this too, because Dave even said, if you saw that, you know the clip we're talking about him shooting me, but earlier in that clip, he's like, yeah, Tico she was about to get fired. We were going to let her go. She's done a lot of...
we didn't see that.
Yeah.
She looks like a problem.
He's like, of course.
Well, clearly violent.
What company? What do you mean? What company do you know that like a person that you don't want in the office? Like I was in the car business. I had to ask people to leave my office all the time. Like I mean, I'm sure in other businesses there's times you ask people to leave. But the employee go back outside of Dell computers or Apple computers and then go kick the customer's ass out in the parking lot of the store, basically. No.
Did you really offer to buy her a new nail?
I bought it. I paid $100. I sent her a thing. And then I think she tweeted that, but then she deleted all her other tweets. Yeah, I paid for her nails because I'm a gentleman. Even though she scratched it on my face because I don't want them to. You can say I'm a lot of stuff. You can say, oh, I'm a dirtbag. I'm a fame whore, this, that. I'm a gentleman. I'm not going to, that hoe, she's going to break her the nails on my face. I'm going to give that hoe her money. That's how I work.
How do you like that, April? I'm a gentleman. That hoe is going to get her money.
Look, I think he's a true gentleman. You paid for it.
This is how it works.
Well, and the brilliance of your Barstool stuff is that it's not even what you do that gives you the biggest W. And we're kind of having this moment too with Chad Zumach. It's what you make the other person do that gives you your greatest victory. Dave goes on his show, and we played it yesterday or 2 days ago, and he says, honestly, and he's hopped up on Adderall or some shit. I mean, I don't have a problem. I mean, sue me if you're not on Adderall. He's hopping around like a fucking jack in the box, and he's going, hey, honestly, they should have been shot. They should have killed him. They should have just shot him. That would have been fine. I mean, that guy, if you think that, and then he goes, if you think what Alex did is funny, I mean, you shouldn't be breathing air. So apparently we're all dead if we laughed at it, and you should have been shot. I mean, but if you're you can't ask for a better reaction out of Dave Portnoy than that.
It's the best one, but see, Aaron, this is what I thought. It's kind of like with you. It's like, oh, we have radio heat, but I figured, oh, well, even with you, I'm like, oh, well, eventually we'll probably just be friends. Like you're going on similar podcasts or something. I guess with Dave, I didn't expect him to be buddy, but I thought, oh, after I brought in naked homeless guy, his butt all over your office,
icebreaker,
that he would. That's what I'm saying. I thought he'd laugh about it because this is the other thing is in that same clip, they're like, we're going to hire the homeless guy to come back because Mike, the security guard, because it was so funny. And then he's like showing the clip of my footage of how this one guy named Shark, I don't know all the employees, and they were laughing. It was so funny the way Shark came around the corner. Like they're laughing about the video. Then literally he proceeds the next sentence to be like, if you thought this was funny, you don't deserve to breathe. So I'm like, dude, you're such a hypocrite. You're laughing about the video. You spent 20 minutes laughing about the video. Now, if it's funny, I shouldn't breathe. So I thought if it got, a big hit or something, got a bunch of millions of views, I thought Dave I didn't expect him to be buddy, but I thought, oh, it's kind of funny. And this is me talking as Dave Portnoy. I've stormed Twitter headquarters. I think he stormed another headquarters. I think
Roger Goodell.
Well, it was a funny bit. Yeah, like I thought, Roger Goodell. I thought, oh, maybe this would be a funny bit or something. But no, it's like, oh, I should be dead. I should be shot. I should know humorous. Even though I did it on their airwaves, so they were live on YouTube. I'm interrupting the show.
Yeah.
Like it was a funny bit, and they can't give me 1 ounce of, oh, it was kind of funny. No, instead it's like
they can't let their guard down. Right.
Not only that, but like he's like threatened to fire like 3 people over you. You make him like Hitler levels of paranoid. He's threatened to fire so many people. Yeah, Mincy. Who was the guy on Twitter that he fired?
Oh, Oh, damn.
There's all these people. I'm just saying, he is very volatile like that. And Dave could be a hero. And he doesn't have to be. I'm not like, even though they consider me conservative, really, I'm more of a populist. And I'm not some person that's like, oh, Dave likes abortion, so I have to hate him. I don't like that he likes abortion or whatever, but I don't have to hate him for that. He's the one that's like, oh, he invited me on his podcast and uninvited because I'm too political. It's like, dude, I don't know. I guess my point is Dave's supposed to be like, F you to the world. I don't care about anything, but it's the opposite. He does care. He's like super hypercritical about how he looks, and he's not edgy anymore. Like what Barstool used to be, they're not.
Yeah, you can't. I agree with you. I mean, it's basic. The only thing masculine in there is the facial hair. That's about it. I mean, it is just a bunch of dorks talking about sports. I mean, I said this when we put the clip of you going in there up. Not a good look for a male demo company to have 2 women fighting in,
They did it all. Aaron, the 2 women did it all. I'm like, where is the men? Why are these 2 women doing it? And the men couldn't even hold the women back. Like that's even more pathetic. Like it'd be a little bit if they were like, oh, we were being professional, that's why we didn't fight you. But they didn't hold the 2 women back. They couldn't hold them back. They got totally emasculated. Very similar to AOC and when her fiance Riley walked past when I called her a big booty Latina. I had those AOC vibes because they were just sitting there behind the glass, like staring at me. Yeah. And I'm like, in my head, this is great content, guys. Let's argue, let's fight. And then no.
Yeah, the whole Barstool thing is so you're not done with them, obviously, are you? I mean, if they're going to react this way, you can't be done. Of course not. No, sadly. And then Dave goes on this high noon tour where he drinks these high noons all over the country. So of course I'm going to have to go find Dave again. And I don't have any heat with that. Like I don't dislike my whole point of this. Now he's like, F you, Alex. I want to kill you, all this stuff. So now I just want to be nicer to him. Yeah. And I really don't even want Dave's approval. I just he shouldn't be mad at me. He's so mad because I made fun of him. I didn't say what the allegations were. I was like, dude, you're accused of the most heinous stuff, but I'm too edgy to go on your stuff. I'm like, this just doesn't, it just seems kind of like the pot calling the kettle black, but whatever. Right. And it looks like after this event that Dave's never going to like me. So you're right, Aaron. I'm going to have to continue to do stuff like this.
Alex won't stop till he's shot, actually.
Well, he said he wants to get shot. Now, April.
1 million views.
We talked about the similarities in styles between Steel Toe and Alex. Mm-hmm. This whole, God, I don't want to go after you. I don't want to use these powers that I have, but God, you're making me do. Who does that sound like?
Oh boy, God, I don't even want to say.
Every time I make fun of someone and they get really upset about it, I go, oh, I don't want to keep doing this, but I mean, you're forcing my hand. Like it's like Sacha Baron Cohen in Ricky Bobby in Talladega Nights, where he's like, I don't want to break your arm, but you're making me look ridiculous.
I have to do it now.
Yeah, but Aaron, and anybody would be dumb if they didn't realize, like, it's not just the, Skyler, shut up. It's not just the, let me, Aaron and April, be nice. The show, you have to be a little spicy. Like, I get that, and I don't think you've been too rude. I guess for me, what bugged me the worst, though, what bugged me so mad is I saw that clip. It was like a month late, and you're like, oh, Alex Stein jumped the shark. And then, like, literally, like, the next video was, like, me. Some big video. And I wanted to be like, Aaron, there you go. I'm not viral anymore.
I would have loved it.
A week later.
I would have loved it.
But now we're having that conversation. And like I said, my feelings were really hurt when I saw April on Simcast. I was like, oh, I'm definitely calling in. Yeah. Because Steel Toe has not talked about me in a minute. And
I was almost disappointed you weren't showing up.
Well, and that's the other thing is, too, you guys made fun of Bubba, but, dude, Bubba, we got to respect Bubba only because I know he's had his ups and downs and the Hulk Hogan stuff, but, he's huge on Twitch. You guys know Twitch is annoying. Like, I'm just saying, it's just, he can be shut down. I like Bubba. I used to, you're a Howard Stern fan, I'm guessing, right?
Howard Stern, Opie and Anthony,
That's what I'm saying. So I used to listen to Bubba all the time on it's funny, of those three, of Howard, Bubba, and Opie and O&A, I probably listened to, I guess I'd listen to Howard the most because that was my favorite, but I actually was more of a Bubba than O&A fan because I was such a Howard Stern mark. I was like, oh, Opie and Anthony, they're the bad guys. Even though I'd listened to them, I was like, oh, that's the opposite team. I can't listen to them that long. So I was like, I've always been a Bubba stan. That's why I definitely I have respect for him, just because I've listened to so many hours.
And like I said, we've really had no contact with Bubba. I think people who don't like us were going in his chat pretending to be us, and that's why they think
it had to be.
Yeah,
that's what it has to be, because it could just be. And dude, there's so many bots. There's so many people that are like talking shit on the internet. You don't know who is who. That's the one thing though, and I keep on giving you credit for, Aaron. That statement I say that all the time. It's like, dude, you get 100. Oh, you're funny, but it's always like the one person like, you're an unfunny Jewish Illuminati douchebag. Oh, that sticks out. That's okay. That's the one.
I get that all the time.
Like, okay.
Yeah,
of course.
Yeah,
Jewish Illuminati douchebag.
Jewish Illuminati douchebag.
Now, how much can you say? Well, first, let's ask you about the Blaze. I think now you know what's coming up after that. But the relationship with the Blaze, is this going to be Alex Stein's exclusive home? Are you kind of partnering with them? What's the deal with Glenn Beck and you?
Well, it'll be the primetime Alex Stein show, and actually now, it'll be it's going to start off 3 days a week. They want it to be 5 days a week. I don't know if it'll get to that, because I'd prefer to do it, even though I want to do as many shows as possible. I'd like to be able to have Friday through Sunday off, because what makes Alex Stein, not trying to talk in third person, that makes my show interesting is not necessarily sitting here and talking in front of the microphone. It's like going out and doing stuff, and so I'm just saying they're going to do an Alex Stein podcast. It's called the Primetime Alex Stein Show. So I'm just a little worried that I'm so excited with the resources, the help, the studio they're building, all that stuff's great. But there's no guarantee that people on YouTube or, whatever Roku or the Fire Sticks are going to watch it. So I can't stop doing the culture jamming or the weird
man on the
stuff
street stuff and all that.
Yeah. Exactly. So it's going to be a full-time job. And then you saw Crowder just didn't re-sign.
I'm going to ask you about that.
Yeah. We can talk about the Blaze, but this is so funny because the Blaze is. So I've been in contract talks with them for like 4 months, just being like, listen, I'm like the lowest on the totem pole. They're paying me decent money, but it's not. I mean, it's a good amount. I'm just saying they're paying me a very fair amount of money to do a podcast, and we negotiated. That took a while, but the whole time I didn't know that I was like counter negotiating with Crowder supposedly the whole time.
Yeah,
that like he was going to leave the network, and so that's why it just kind of makes sense. Mm-hmm. They're like, of course, when you talk to any executive, the Blaze like, oh, we're going to be fine. As a matter of fact, now we're going to even have more
resources
to allocate towards your show is even what they told me. But I'm not going to be dumb and think I want Steven Crowder on our network because he's huge. Yeah. So for me, the network, the Blaze is like, oh, it's no big deal. But I'm kind of like, well, I mean, it's kind of a big deal. He is a huge YouTuber. He's the biggest conservative, him or Tim Pool. And I would say he's more conservative than Tim Pool. So, he's the biggest conservative YouTubers. So it is a big deal to lose them.
And before I really kind of throw out some theories on the Crowder thing, you do have to give yourself a little credit. I think you're going to be fine. I know you don't like compliments. I think you're going to be more than fine in the podcast realm. You're very comfortable on shows. You're very comfortable in front of a microphone. And you were on Danny Polachek's show with Royce and Mersch recently. You were fantastic on it. So I think you're going to be more than fine as far as a podcast goes.
Yeah. And I really appreciate that. I really appreciate it. And I, like I said, I'm so excited to do the podcast, but I just, lose some of the luster that is my thing is like being able to travel and go to these different places.
You're going to build you're going to build a new muscle, and you're going to have that with the other. I don't think the other one's going to atrophy, and you're going to build a new one, and it's just going to add to your arsenal, I think.
And that's what I hope so. But like I said, working at the Blaze for Glenn, and this, it's like I go from being not corporate at all to basically corporate. But this is the one thing about the Blaze that I have to, dude, no censorship. They've been, very, for me, I mean, as edgy as a guy as me, I do some pretty off-color stuff, say some off-color things about George Floyd and Lord knows what. And they've let me, do that. As a matter of fact, they need
the audience
stronger.
You bring. You have a younger audience. They need it.
That's what we said this morning. Yeah, definitely younger.
Yeah, and that's true. I mean, they know that, and they want. Listen, in the political realm, the Blaze has so many serious people. They want a goofball too. They want a comedian. Right. So that's what helps me too. Is that I'm an idiot. So they're like, well, we need an idiot show, and that's why Crowder is a comedian who I'm going to be. That's why it's kind of like I'm not going to be able to have his audience, starting out, not even close. But I'm just saying I'm kind of even have to fill that void. We're basically the same age. I'm the funny guy. I do confrontational stuff. He did that.
You know you're funnier. You know you're funnier than Crowder, right?
Absolutely.
Well, I mean, it's this is one thing. This is another thing is comedy is so subjective. I
Okay.
don't hardly like my own thing, you know, and I'm not even trying to say this to be like, oh, say I'm funnier than him. But this is the thing, dude. There's so many of these other comics. I'm like, oh, I can't even watch 2 minutes of his stand-up that people say he's the best comedian. So I don't know. It's very subjective. And I think it's like simple. We know some people are funny no matter what, but it's like, I'm just saying, overall, is this guy funnier than this guy? Is this, I don't even want to get in there. That's what I hate too. Listen, and you know, Carl, and you guys do the same thing, and this is the Chad Zumick, you know, we can talk about Chad all day, Zumach, but it's like when we were making fun of his stand-up, that's one thing is I don't really like to make fun of critique people's stuff. I don't, like when I react to something, I don't necessarily like to critique it that much, only because I know my shit sucks so bad. I swear, I have a trouble critiquing.
Big difference.
Look, I want to apologize right now for on this show insinuating in the past that you're in any way insecure.
What, me? I'm not that. I mean, I am. But everybody has insecurities and idiosyncrasies, you know, that they're nervous and that they're,
I hear you
know, or whatever about. Nobody's, because this is why it's like Maslow's hierarchy of needs, and that talks about it's like how like the bottom is basically safety, and the top is self-actualization, and self-actualization means like if you died and you can come back as anybody else, choosing to come back as yourself. I'm just saying nobody reaches that, Aaron. Nobody just looks in the mirror and is like, oh, I'm perfect, Daddy Warbucks. As a matter of fact, the one guy that says he does, Mark Cuban, they always ask him if you died, who would you come back as? And he says to himself, like, I just think he's full of shit. Mark Cuban's an asshole, so.
Shit.
But I was like, yes, am I insecure about some stuff? Yeah, other stuff, no.
I was actually going to ask you, and I thought I'd maybe be stepping on toes if I said, do you think that you were used as a bargaining chip against Crowder at the Blaze? And I thought that might be a touchy subject, but it sounds like you're already saying it.
It's there.
No, I mean, I don't think so. I mean, I don't think I was used ever in the negotiation process. I'm saying I wish I kind of knew in the negotiation process that Crowder is gone, that maybe that I would have been a little more negotiated. They knew the whole time that Crowder could be gone. I didn't, so that's why I was saying I signed kind of a team-friendly contract, you know, but I didn't realize, Crowder would be gone. Maybe I'm going to be carrying a little more weight. But listen, I don't want to say, there's people that it's like, oh, I work for the Blaze, you know, oh, I don't like it, or this bad, you know. There's everybody that has worked there, like Tommy Loren. There's been a lot of people that have worked there and that have, you know, gone up. For me, I'm talking about my personal experience. The only thing I can speak on, the Blaze has been incredibly nice. Glenn Beck has been way too nice to an idiot like me. So I can only say positive things about the Blaze.
Yeah. Fuck conservative, fuck liberal. People get too tied up in that shit. Glenn Beck just seems like a decent human being. He just seems like a good guy.
Yeah. And he is, like, he actually genuinely is. I mean, you know, he is Glenn Beck, so he, you know, he has like this kind of like aura of, even though he's a goofball too, you know, it's kind of like importance. You know, you're like, oh shit, I don't want to bug Glenn, but really he's actually down to earth. But I have to compare Glenn, and I would say this to Glenn's face, the most down to earth guy, and I'm not saying this to name drop, Tucker Carlson. I would have thought the guy was like a gardener or something. You know, when I talked to him, I mean, I would have thought he's like, I'm just saying, I wouldn't have thought that he's like a TV show host. I would have thought he's like a landscape guy or construction guy. He's just like, how you doing? Really nice down there. I mean, Glenn is a little more, you're like, he has the security. You're kind of like, oh, let me say something important to Glenn. But Tucker is like, fuck shit. It sounds just like a frat kid or something.
Tucker's
I'm just saying, he really is down there. I was so blown away. I was kind of like, this is how Tucker Carlson acts. He acts just like a high school kid in a good way, not like an uneducated way, just like a, you know, drinking a soda, not pretentious at all.
There's a very charming video of Tucker. I'm sure you've seen it. The one where the guy doesn't know who Tucker is. And he approaches him. Well, he approaches. Oh no, I was thinking the guy. Unless that's him. He was approaching Tucker while he was fly fishing in New York.
In New York, yes. And so Tucker Boots didn't even know. So that's a Howard Stern guy. He didn't even know it was Tucker Carlson until he brought it home. But
because Tucker was on guard at first, and then you can see him slowly realize, like, oh, this guy's not trying to get me. And Tucker is like the sweetest guy to this person who's interrupting his fishing and he's nice for no reason at all.
I love him.
He thought, if you guys all need to watch that, you can even type it in like Joey Boots, Tucker Carlson.
Okay.
But in that video, at first Tucker's like, wait, what is this guy? This is a bogey. Like, because this is in like 2002, not everybody's, even though New York, more people walk around with a camera than like, you know, Wisconsin or something, but it still would be kind of weird. It wasn't like an iPhone camera. This guy's like a camcorder in your face. So you're probably like, this guy is doing something. And Tucker handles it. He's like asking him about his fly fishing lures. He's asking about, they even like talk about Israel, I think. Things like, somehow Israel comes out and Tucker's like favorable to Israel. I'm just saying, Tucker's He's an actual down to earth guy, and so is Glenn. Glenn's down to earth too. But you just kind of, I don't know, when you see Glenn back, you're kind of like a little like, oh fuck, let me be a little more professional.
Yeah,
for whatever reason.
Yep.
Right. Before we get to audience questions and some super chat stuff here, April, I'm sorry the men have been very boisterous here and whatnot, but we're both gentlemen, so let's let the hose talk.
Let the hose talk?
I'm just quoting Alex.
No, I think
Okay, but real quick, wait before you go, because I looked at April's Instagram, though, so I'm saying, were you guys at the Cowboys-Minnesota game, though?
Fuck no.
Were you guys at that game?
No, and we're not going to talk about it.
Bad day.
We don't have to, but
Bad
you guys
day.
have such a good season, and then what's the heck? I mean, that game, I thought you guys were going to win that game. I'm such a, dude, I'm a diehard Cowboys fan. I've been to a bunch of games. I'm just so sick of them because they let us down every year, and they're like, oh, that's a fair weather fan. I ride and die with the Cowboys. I'm just saying, I know what's going to happen this season. They're probably going to win in the first round, probably play the Vikings in the second round, and then the Cowboys are picked to win or something, and then lose, and then Kirk Cousins goes off. I'd say the Cowboys, and I'm sure you guys have not had a great with Minnesota, because you guys have had some really good teams in the past few years, and then they shit the bed. I mean, y'all should have won the Super Bowl the Randy Moss's rookie year.
Yeah, 98.
Look, 98, that team. I cannot believe that team. And then, you had such a good team that year.
Most boys my age had their first cry at sports over that NFC Championship game during the 98 season. That was
against the Falcons, right? Wasn't it the Falcons? See that? And nobody could stop Minnesota that year. And was that the Randall Cunningham year or the Dante Culpepper?
That was Randall Cunningham. Dante Culpepper, we got beat 41-0 in the championship game by the Giants.
Wow.
That was
just a heartbreaking team in general.
Yeah, it's a heartbreaking team.
The Vikings are, and I've been to US Bank Stadium. That stadium's awesome. That stadium, I went when it first opened like three or 4 years ago. It's really cool and loud, and people and everybody needs to go see a game at the Skull Vikings. It's really fun.
It's beautiful. All right, let's get through
It's more fun than the Cowboys games even, because the Cowboys stadium, dude, the fans are like
huge.
Half the fans are the away team.
Oh, really?
We might have to get him up here for a Cowboys game.
Oh, yeah, now
we're saying I need to come.
Absolutely.
But I'm telling y'all, it's funny because Cowboys Stadium, y'all stadiums are just it's still really big, but it's a little smaller, so it's a little louder. Yeah. Ours is like just a little bigger, but it's always half the away team's fans, because the Cowboys are quote unquote American team, so people want to come and see their team. So like let's say we're playing the Cardinals, it's gonna be 60-40 Cowboys Cardinals fans, almost 50-50.
Chrissy Mayer, 999 says, good to see Alex on the show. Her and Fair and Balance actually both sent in super chats asking for him to open his robe a little when this thing started. I didn't know how amenable Alex would be to that, and I didn't know how comfortable I felt asking. Oh, there we go.
Yeah,
nipple. I don't want to get a community guideline strike.
There you go, hose. You got it.
Yeah. There you go.
Thirst trap.
I'm a gentleman. I give the hose what they want. So
Cardiff Electric with 279 says, please ask Alex and Chrissy Mayer to hashtag unblock Cardiff. I don't know if you're familiar with Cardiff Electric, but he's
I am the potato man.
Yes,
I don't even think I have Cardiff blocked. Do I have Cardiff blocked? I'll unblock him.
Well, he's requesting you unblock him.
Kathy and Axel, Sky Bear is beautiful, but Axel wants to see Kyle. I have no idea. Oh, is that the cats?
Yeah, Kyle. Kyle's the best one. Kyle.
Of course, his cat is named Kyle.
Where is Kyle? Where's Kyle? Kyle.
In the meantime, I'll read this while Alex is looking for the cat, because he doesn't want to get roped into this. Fair and Balanced with $2 says, Steven Crowder isn't funny. Change my mind.
Right.
Well, there you go.
Thank you, Farron.
Brown Candy wants to know what flavor Alex has in his pen.
I saw that.
I don't know where Kyle is. That's kind of worrying. I don't know where he is this morning. I hope he didn't get out.
Yeah.
But wait, what was the last question I heard
the
you
other
talking
one
about?
was, somebody said Crowder is, Fair and Balanced said Crowder isn't funny, changed my mind, but I figured you didn't need to be wrapped up in that.
No.
Yeah, I'm not going to get it.
Brown Candy says,
I think that's one of the best, that's one of the most legendary bits ever. People will say, oh, Crowder, this and that. Change my mind. I mean, just that meme alone, just the creation of that meme will live on for eons.
It's a cultural phrase now.
Yes, it
change
is.
my mind. I mean,
it's a cultural phrase.
Yeah.
The guitar riff, too. Oh.
The guitar riff. Come on,
The
Red
stinger.
Bar uses that. Everybody uses that. There's something about that guitar riff that it's like.
Depending on how good of a negotiator Glenn Beck is, maybe he owns it now and it can be yours.
No kidding.
I know. I'm gonna take it. I'm just gonna take over his whole studio, and I'm just gonna. It'll be the Alex Stein show and the Steven Crowder.
They want to know what flavor you have in your pen.
Oh, because I'm always chewing on it. This is blue, so it's Baja Blast Sharpie.
Oh,
and this is strawberry.
Yeah, guys, they're Sharpies. John Smokin wants to know, and this is a good question because we watched your video on this, and it was.
Oh yeah.
You were pretty brutal. I mean, it was in a funny way. They want to know if Alex is still beefing with Destiny. That fucking to his face. That fucking coming.
I like Destiny. I have no beef. Destiny's so mad. So Destiny, we went on a debate. It was a group debate, and I don't have no beef with Destiny. I'm actually a Destiny mark. You know, I'm a fan of Destiny, and he's like. He comes on the stream and it's one of these. I do a lot of these group debates. Group debates are so dumb, but I just go to like cause as much chaos, not even really argue my point. But so in the thing, he's like, "Oh, Alex, you're the AOC sexual harasser." I'm like, yeah. But he's like being serious. And then that brings up again. I'm like, "Are you like serious, dude? It was just a joke." So he's like, yeah, you're disgusting. You're repugnant. I was like, okay, well, let's set up a debate. We'll see who's more repugnant. Me saying she's a big booty Latina or you who has an open marriage with your wife or there's so many clips on the internet where he's live streaming. It'd be like April. It'd be like you live streaming. And April's like, oh, I'm going to go to Gary's house for the weekend. And like you can find, I'm just saying, no. I'm saying these clips exist. And listen, people that can be, people say you're homophobic, transphobic, polyamorous phobic, or whatever. I'm not phobic. You want to have an open relationship. I'm a libertarian in that mindset. Go do it. But he on the internet acts like it's so cool. It's no big deal. But then when I brought up in this debate, he literally says he hates me. He wants me to die. He wants me to get deplatformed. Jesus. I just brought it up. I'm not the one that's banging his wife. So with Destiny, it'd be 2 seconds. If he was just like, oh, I don't hate Alex, I'd be like, hey, I don't hate you, Destiny. I won't even bring it up anymore.
Exactly.
But he's like, no. Yeah, he just hates me.
Yeah, I get it. Like, Alex, I always say that too. I go, don't make me be this guy. Don't do it. And
We're
then,
all friends.
You're just sitting there going, look, don't make me use the line, your wife gets cum on her and then asks where we're going for dinner.
Yeah, I mean, and that is repugnant for me to say that, but it's like, how is that me saying that should not be worse than the actual action of the guy doing that? So that's what bugs you is him doing that. Because if it didn't bug you, me saying it wouldn't bug you. So it does bug you, Dest.
One thing I noticed on Simcast, and maybe I'm making something out of nothing, I'll just ask you straight away. Is there some kind of weird heat between you and Nick Rekieta? Because there was some
I don't know.
awkwardness.
It does feel like that. It does feel like there's something because I brought up that hedonism thing, and I didn't really want to be like, because I saw that tweet. Someone's like, oh, he's at hedonism, and I don't care. Go to hedonism. I would go to hedonism. I mean, I don't know. It sounds like it'd be a fun vacation. But I know that kind of threw him for a loop. But I don't know. There's some weird, because, Elijah got fired from the Blaze because Elijah was like, on thin ice, told Glenn Beck he's going to go to hell, then did something bad with it.
Whoa.
Had extramarital stuff go on, got in a lot of trouble, but Nick and Elijah are tight.
Yeah.
And for some reason, I guess Elijah's mad that I didn't have his back more, but it's like, I'm not, first of all, what Elijah did, I'm sure you guys are familiar with, and what anybody else can look to, it's like, I'm not going to ever have your back doing something to, a woman, a friend of mine. So I don't know. I think in the divorce, and I was never that tight with Nick, but I know he's tight with Elijah. And so I think that's why. And at the same time, Nick and I, we've known each other for a long time. We've never done a stream. So I think I could mend the fence with Nick, but it's just kind of like with us. It's like that awkward, we've not really connected yet.
Well, when Nick lives relatively close to us, he's agreed to come on the show. Maybe when he's on the show, we'll zoom you in.
I'll call in.
Yeah.
We'll zoom in.
We'll settle the whole thing.
I want to be friends with Nick. I got no beef with Nick. I'm just saying him and I have never had we need to do probably a long form interview together. Then we'll get to know each other a little better. But I think that's maybe why it is a little awkward at first. I know he is friends with Elijah, and Elijah and I obviously are not friendly any longer. So that's probably that little, you're like,
doesn't seem like it.
What is that? I think that's what it is. Yeah.
Blaze cleaned out a lot of people to bring old Alex in, and
I know, that's what I'm saying. Everybody's leaving, and now I gotta fucking lift this. I'm a pimp on a blimp. Somehow I gotta get some hydrogen and put some hydrogen into the blaze so we can get this thing going.
Yeah,
it's a lot of pressure.
That would be great.
Final question, and then we're all gonna head out here. Bumbaclo wants to know: is Alex Stein a Red Bar fan? It seems so.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. I mean, I don't. And I actually pay the $11 a month.
So do I.
Listen,
yeah.
and I don't even want to. And that's why I want to support you guys. Have a great audience. I was actually looking at your clips. I was like, I don't think your subs are fair. You guys should be way more subs compared to your live audience. If you put the ratio of subs to live audience,
we're getting.
I'm saying
there.
You guys get a good live audience for. You should have more subscribers, but like I said, it's so hard to build on YouTube now, guys. I mean, you can keep doing it. You got to keep on going on other people's shows. I think you guys are doing the right thing because you are growing, but it's just sad that this is like what we have to do. You basically have to like spider to other content creators in order to gain an audience because now you're never going to be organically
You're never suggested.
Recommended. Exactly. So the only way you guys get, because you guys have been suggested to me, but that's only because I subscribed and because we have so many, like I said, spider web, content that's
mutual
similar.
Friends.
Most people, a new person that would like Steel Toe probably can't see you unless they subscribe to enough similar content. So for y'all, not trying to give you advice. I mean, you guys have been it, but I'm just saying you have to keep on going on other people's shows. That's how I grew on YouTube. I think you have guests on your show. That's all. That's why Chrissy's blown up because she's had so many guests on her show. She gets so many new audience members. So
absolutely,
that's how we got to do it.
Yep. Well, Alex, thank you very much for coming on. Hopefully, it's not the last time. Maybe we'll get you up to Minneapolis for a Vikings game.
Yes,
and
Vikings game.
We'll see. We'll bet. We'll put some wager on this because I'm sure we'll play you guys in the playoffs. I mean, you guys are going to win the division, right? The NFC North. Who else is anybody else in your division?
It's either one more Detroit loss or our victory, and we play.
And Detroit's doing pretty good this year. I mean, the record sucks. I like Dan Campbell. I
don't want to play him again.
I
don't want to play him again. They're hitting their stride right now.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, man.
Right, we'll make a bet in the playoffs. We'll make a bet. I'm sure we'll see you guys there.
Yeah, we'll do. Maybe we'll do something about storming Dave Portnoy's compound or something if the Vikings win. I don't know.
Yeah, April's gonna have to run in there in a Dallas Cowboys cheerleading outfit.
There you go.
That could be fun.
Then, then maybe, then who knows? Maybe she can
go in
there.
You're gonna have to wear one too.
Yeah,
so
maybe she'll go in there
April.
pregnant, and Dave can buy her an abortion.
No.
Yeah, there you go. That's what it.
I'll just say it's his.
We'll get a plan B.
No,
receipt.
we'll send you in there with a baby bump because it's an Alex Stein thing. So there's got to be some character in there.
Yeah.
We'll have a baby bump in there. You'll yell about it being Dave's and ask for him to pay for the abortion you're going to have.
And he will, absolutely.
There you go.
And he will. They'll cut a check. They got the abortion fund. All right, guys. Well, it was a pleasure. We'll do it again soon.
Alex,
Thank
the
you,
plugs,
Alex.
though, my friend. Where can people, obviously they know where to find you, but where can they
Alex
find
Stein 99, just all over Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, guys. Just support Steel Toe, support me, support the guys that you like. Do not support the mainstream media. They suck dick. So everybody else is cool.
Thank you, buddy. Have a great weekend.
So much.
See you guys.
All right.
See ya.
Alex Stein, everybody. Well, that was fun.
What a lovely man.
I told you it was not going to take very long for that whole thing to solve itself.